Hey, what's up everybody? If you are new to this channel, please by all means, hit that like and subscribe button. I have not posted on this channel in a while, but hey, if y'all get those likes and those subscriptions up, you will incentivize me to post more on this channel. Alright, before I get into this video, let me make a couple of disclaimers. For starters, I am not on the Downlow. I have never been on the Downlow. However, I do live a very private life, and those in the know, I don't hide anything from anyone, but I am not one who gets online just to talk about my dating life, my sex life, if there is any. Right now, I'm abstinent and celibate and has been for a very long time, but even if I were dating and actively involved, there's no reason for me to get online and talk about my private life and who I'm dating. That is, unless I'm here to uplift, educate, and inspire. Personally speaking, I think everyone should keep their dating life and sex life private, but that's just me. Secondly, I do not out anyone. So please do not write me asking me if I can look at a picture or if I can determine if your boyfriend, your man, or whoever is on the Download. And finally, some of the language used in this video may be offensive to some sensitive viewers, and the general content that I will be sharing is for a mature audience. And finally, the tips and signs that I share comes by way of a lifetime of experience, because I've always attracted these types of men, and I am adding my natural born gift as a seer in the mix for extra clarity. These are signs that a man may be on the Downlow. May is the operative word, because some of the signs that I will be sharing can be linked to some other things that can be equally troubling. May not be a sign that this person is on a Downlow, but yeah, there may be something else that is going on that a woman who only desires a 100% heterosexual man should be concerned about. Now, before I get into the meat of what this video is about, I want to share with you an email that was sent September of last year from someone with the email title Anonymous. You guys looking at it, I'm going to read this email and then I'm going to read to you my response. Nasty straight couples. I just want to keep it real with you. I noticed that you like to talk about DL men, and you like to talk about how they are badly affecting black society, but you have it all twisted. As a bisexual male, I'm not going to let you talk bad about us, DL brothers. I seen what you posted on your Cosmic Me channel, and it's really biased and distorted. See, baby, what you need to start talking about is the nasty straight heterosexual couples that are spreading STDs knowingly. Every time I turn, straight heterosexual couples are catching STDs from left to right. See, baby, what you need to talk about is how these straight females from heterosexual couples are getting raw dogged and raw fucked. Quit blaming the so-called Downlow men for the issues in the black community. Typical. Blaming everything on us, Downlow brothers. See, baby, those bitches, females, are telling the world now that they don't care anymore. These bitches, females, are admitting that they are whores and slut buckets. Just look at all these black female celebrities like Sexy Red and Sukiana. They not the only ones. Why don't you expose the straight heterosexual males and females that are raw fucking by mouth through vaginal oral sex while the females are on their bloody ass periods? Why don't you expose these straight heterosexual females that are getting trained and raw fucked on the daily by straight heterosexual males? Again, quit blaming the Downlow brothers for the STDs that nasty straight heterosexual people have. See, baby, these bitches, females, are proud of being cum buckets. So my question to you is, why are straight people lying and blaming everything on the Downlow brothers for everything when their nasty heterosexual asses can't stop raw dogging and raw fucking? P.S. Now post this on your channel and website so I can see you're a real blogger. Sincerely, Anonymous. Now here's my response. First of all, I have done several videos over the years about heterosexual sex, STDs, etc. The Cosmic Me isn't my only channel, nor my only source of communication. In fact, my very first series of videos about poor choices regarding sex, drugs, and alcohol were about straight people. I've also made several videos and blogs about straight men and women who grape and molest children. So you need to fall all the way back on that assumption in this regard. Secondly, I have a long personal history with DL men, and I know countless others who have had relations with them as well. And for this reason, I am going to speak as I see it. If you want more focus on the narrative that you find most befitting, you can begin making your own videos and blogs and do it the way you see fit. One thing you must know about me is that I am an equal opportunity observer, and I will continue to call it the way I see it. If you don't like it, you can move on or find someone else who will address matters that fit your ego and narrative. You've got the wrong one here. Be well. Now, I also want to add, if you all go back and listen to my very first video, 5 Signs a Man May Be on the Down Low, as well as some of my other videos that I had spoken in this regard, I did not say that all of the STDs and the problems with heterosexual people and heterosexual coupling is due to DL men. I stated that HIV is one of the reasons that's contributing to so many females getting HIV. And you will also hear that I speak sympathetically about men on the down low because I get why so many of them feel like they have no other choice but to hide who they really are. But this person simply listened to the video, watched those videos, and got triggered and completely dismissed all of those talking points. All right, so here's my bottom line. I will continue to address and or talk about taboo social issues, but within their proper context, one subject matter at a time. So now let's proceed. 5 more signs that a man may be on the down low. Sign 1. Physically and verbally hostile and or abusive towards the woman he's with and women in general. One of the things that I have been encouraging since I started a platform on the internet is the importance of being your authentic, true self. One can only imagine how much energy, frustration, resentment, shame, self-hatred, and anger that will build up in someone who is hiding a fundamental part of who they are in order to feel validated or accepted. But that validation and acceptance is not based in truth. It's not based in reality. And there then becomes another reason to be angry and frustrated. And men who harbor and hide all of these things And that eventually turns into a lot of lashing out, a lot of resentment that will be expressed towards the very person or group that they're trying to appease but hide from at the same time. Can you imagine the inner war and inner turmoil in this regard? A Downlow brother once told me that he resent the fact that women can flip-flop, date one another, be with one another sexually, even go back to men and claim heterosexuality, and no one bats an eye. But if a man has even one experience with another man, he's forever just labeled as gay. He's crucified, and he was very resentful and very angry about that. Many of these men who are living on the down low, hiding who they are, but are assimilating in a straight world and living up to straight expectations, while hearing people in the straight community saying negative things about the very community that they will see him as part of if he were to come out, whether he want to be a part of the community or not, he will be seen as that. You can only imagine the anger and the rage that builds up over time in this regard. And so, yes, some of them will outwardly express anger and hatred and venomous physically, verbally towards women, guys who beat women, guys who only reference women as bitches and hoes. You never hear them saying anything positive or respectful about women, even though they may have daughters, they may have sisters, but you never hear them saying anything kind or respectful about women in general, not even the women that they are with. Men or males who claim to be straight, but they are always sagging and sagging low on top of that. Now, I don't want to get into the historical context of sagging, but by now, we all know that for the most part, this is something that is often done in prison to let other inmates know that another inmate is willing and ready to receive. This is now common knowledge, but yet and still we have so-called self-identifying straight males walking around like this. Now, all the years I've been living on this earth, I have never talked to a woman who said that watching men sag is sexy and manly and turns her on. I've never seen it. That's not to say they don't exist, but I've never seen it. And I challenge each and every one of you guys to think about it. Have you ever heard or seen it? Or if you ladies, have you ever thought to yourself, oh, that's sexy? That turns me on? Now, I've heard women say things like they like a man who has a nice, round, strong butt because that makes them think of the power of the thrust when she's in bed with him. She likes to imagine the amount of pressure that will be going in and out of her as he thrusts inside of her. But no, not walking around exposing his behind for anybody to see, especially children. I'm one of those people, I don't like it. It's very tacky. It's very disrespectful. That's just my opinion. And here's the irony. I would dare to say that there are probably more males who identify as straight who are out here sagging than men who are openly gay or bisexual. At least in my circle, I have never seen an openly gay male sagging. And there are different levels of the hood, and I've been and lived in all of them, and I've never seen an openly gay man or bisexual man sagging. I've never seen it. Generally speaking, the only people who's going to be looking at that and being turned on or glued to that or watching that will be men who likes backdoor play. Sign number 3, gay for pay. Now, this is the newest term for men who identify as straight, but will perform sexual acts with other men for money. Back in the day, they were called trade. And yes, some of them are called DL trade. Now, some of you guys know that I am a gifted seer. I've always had this ability. And just as it was prophesied over me when I was much younger, the older I get, the more powerful and strong this ability grows with me. And I had made a YouTube video on my spiritual channel years ago stating that we will see a time where people will be making money online, making adult content, and exposing a lot of down low men, a lot of closeted men in the process. Hence, OnlyFans. I made that video at least 9 years ago, 8-9 years ago. And look at what has happened. How many pastors, married men, and the likes have been exposed on these platforms such as OnlyFans, having relations with openly gay men. Some were secretly recorded, just as I said in that video I had done years ago. But we also have those who are stating that they are heterosexual. Men who do OnlyFans claiming that the money to be made from the gay community is much more, and therefore that reason they're going to tap into that market. They're making videos where they're doing intimate things with other men with an erection. Now think about it. A woman can simply fake being with a man and enjoying it because all she has to do is just open her legs and lay there and act with oohs and ahs, and you know, she can really put on an act. But for a man to penetrate another man, he has to get aroused. He has to get an erection. There is no way in hell a 100% heterosexual man can get an aroused penis and penetrate another man and sustain an erection. There's no way in hell. No one is going to convince me otherwise. And no straight man will want to even take any drugs that will make him do that and perform in this way. For those who will say, oh, well, they're taking drugs to turn them on, to get them off, or they're looking at straight porn while they're doing it. I'm just making a point that we have a group of men who are being exposed as being down low on these platforms while identifying as heterosexual. But we also have those who are openly doing these things and making content with other men while claiming that they're heterosexual, but they're just doing it for the money. Again, exposing themselves, and by default or by trick or trade, pun intended. Sign number 4, constantly saying homoerotic things or playing in a homoerotic way. Growing up, I saw a lot of little boys. We all played in this way. And there will be those who grow out of it, but then you will have those who will continue to play in this way while insisting no homo. How many of you guys hear guys always saying something very homoerotic and they'll immediately come behind and say no homo? Or they play in a very homoerotic way and then they'll laugh it off. Oh, I'm just kidding. Or they'll roughhouse and grab one of their boys, pin him down, get on top of him like he's wrestling them, or smack him on the butt. I mean, they play like this all of the time and go to the no homo or man, I'm just kidding, I'm just playing around type of thing. From where I sit, these guys are letting aspects of their true nature and true feelings, thoughts, and desires play out in a playful way so that no one takes them seriously. And for some, yes, it could cross the line where they go all the way with their homeboys or whomever they're playing with. Some of these guys may not have outwardly gone all the way with another male. Some of them have. Some of them may just simply be curious. Guys that stay talking about gay things and playing in a gay way and choking in a gay way, that may be a sign that he may be on a down low, or he's heading in the direction of playing around and exploring his same-sex thoughts, feelings, and desires. All right, final sign. If a man gives off a hostile, aggressive, defensive response if and when asked what is his sexual orientation, or if he's interested in men, women, both, has he dated or thought about dating or would consider dating a transsexual or transgender, whatever the case may be. You don't want to just listen to the answer. You want to listen to how he answered and the body language. A confident man giving a response to that question will give a cool, calm, and collected response. However, if a man responds with anger, aggression, defensiveness, or in an antagonistic way, or if he wants to become belligerent and even violent, that's a sign of someone who's hiding something. Because we know the day and time that we are in. Cannot assume everyone is heterosexual, especially if they look and move in a way that you deem to be heterosexual. And due to the time that we are in, no confident, secure man should be offended if a woman asks him this question. Or even if another man asks, because that other man may be confident in who he is and may be interested. All a man has to do is simply say, hey man, I'm heterosexual. I'm not down with that. Set your boundaries and let it be that. There's no reason to get all angry and want to fight and become confrontational because someone is asking, hey, what's up with you? Because again, you can't tell what someone's sexual orientation is by looking at them. We really need to get away from that. And we really need to get away from being obsessed with and focused on what someone's sexual orientation is, who we have no intentions of dating. We're not checking for them, and they're not checking for us. Some people just want to know to be nosy as hell. Some people just want to know to have something to run around and gossip about. If your intentions are trifling and tacky, then sometimes a response may be tacky and trifling if they're reading your body language and looking at why you are interested in asking them that question to begin with. But if you are asking someone this question because you are interested and you may want to shoot your shot and they get offended, especially if you are a woman and you are interested in a man, or if a man is expressing interest in you and you want to know about him and he doesn't want to talk about it and he creates a problem, he becomes very aggressive and hostile when you ask, it's not a disrespectful question. Again, given the time that we are in, knowing that there are a lot of men out there in the world who are living on the down low and who are hiding. So again, ladies, the most important thing is not what the man says when you ask, or if you ask him, is how he said in the body language. If the body language is off, and if they answer in a very hostile, antagonistic, questionable way, then you have something to consider there. My final thoughts on the matter: I am not here to bash men who are closeted or on the down low. I really sympathize in many ways, but at the same time, I'm encouraging you and inspiring you to stand up, man up, live your truth. There are going to be some people who are going to like it, and there are going to be people who don't. they're not adding anything of value to your life anyway if they cannot accept a core part of who you are. Because in this society where everything is interwoven with sex and sexuality, whether we want to admit it or not, or whether we want to make it a major part of our makeup or not, this society is going to do just that. I wish we would evolve beyond this point much faster, but it is what it is. And so therefore, in order for us to begin having healthier relationships, to avoid making all of these oops babies out of lust, out of confusion and chaos, creating these broken homes, creating these gender wars, we must begin digging and repairing the roots of the problem. And that is respecting one another's boundaries, respecting people for who and what they really are, as long as they are consenting, law-abiding adults. And on that note, I would like to say thank you for taking this time to listen to this video. Please share it. Hey, if you would like to donate to the cause and incentivize me to make more content, you can do so by either one of these options shown here. The more support I get, the more you incentivize me to continue to make content of this nature.